Beggars can't be choosers, man. Beggars cannot be choosers. And all I did was send a tweet talking about a second-tier quarterback, a bunch of bad options, and I got 1,000 people telling me I'm an idiot and that I need to not look that way. In what position do the Browns feel like they're in that they can discount, frankly, any of these quarterbacks? And it's where we get so tied up because we love the draft. We need to find a quarterback. It sucks that there's really not going to be there one at two worth taking. So of all these other options, how can anybody really sit there and be like, well, that guy's not going to be able to? You got to take one. You have to take one. Ryan has worn me down. If the Browns feel like Shedeur Sanders can do it, then you take Shedeur Sanders at 2. That seems to be the furthest from what the Browns are actually going to do at 2. And we'll talk about that second wave of guys. And I'm going to do something. I'm not in on Jackson Dart. And I'm going to try to talk myself into Jackson Dart on this week's show. I got a nice write-up from Benjamin Solak of ESPN. We'll go through that. They ran through Matt Miller, ESPN, Jordan Reed, a part of this. What are they hearing for the Browns at number 2? We'll get to that coming up. Cavs! Number 1 seed, baby! Yeah! What a job by the Wine and Gold. Rest everybody. Thursday night, our show airs Thursday night. Friday's on the Rock. Everybody sit on out, get ready to go for the playoffs. You can tune things back on up when we get to that first round matchup. We'll go with that in the guards. All right. Man, do the White Sox suck. Poor guys can't catch a break.
Got some bad news for you, Matt.
What's that?
It appears we also suck.
Yeah, win's a win. Class A? Huh?
Big fraud alert.
Thank God that guy tore his hamstring, whatever he did, coming around third base. But we'll get some guards coming up. We got the Immaculate Grid. We got to talk about Luka's return to Dallas as well. We got it all for you right here on Big Play. Welcome to the show, everybody. I am Matt Fontana. He is Ryan Tyler. So happy to have you alongside this week. Of course, on the Rock, Fridays at 4 o'clock. Catch us on Big Play, the app. You can check us out on YouTube, Instagram, and the show is on Twitter X at Matt Fontana Show. Presented by our great friends at Fairway Ford. Some big things to tell you about in Fairway Ford for just a second. Our friends at Pure AV and Garage Beer, and really appreciate you being a part of our show as well. So real quick, we're here with the Browns now. Draft is coming down. And I send this thing out about Tyler Shuck, all right? He's the kid from Louisville. And I said, if you don't know, he's 6'5", he's 220. I think he's got a really good arm. He can play out of play action. He can go under center. You'd read that. If I just said that to you, Ryan, kid's got a strong arm. He's 6'5", he's 220. He can play action, go under center, be like, he's the first overall pick. Wait, let's pump the brakes. He is, 20? Is he really 27? I think he's 25. He's played 7 years of college football. He's been to 3 different schools because he's been hurt the majority of his career. That's the situation we find ourselves in with Tyler Shuck. So I tweet out
25. There you go.
Yeah, 25. So Whedon was 27 because everybody goes, you just want to draft another Brandon Whedon. Brandon Whedon was 27 when the Browns drafted him because he played minor league baseball for a couple of years before he went back to college. And I know the Browns for a long time have had age as one of their biggest factors. They like drafting young guys. Like, dude, David Njoku was 20 when they drafted him? But I send out a tweet about Shuck, and I said, there's something about him that I would rather take over Jackson Dart, over Will Howard, over Quinn Ewers. And it's that I think he has arm talent. And I know, shout out to John Costco, PFF. I have a lot of respect for John. I might actually try to get him on the show next week because I'd like to discuss this with him. And he's got questions about Shuck's arm, and he's really in on Jackson Dart. My thing about Dart, my thing about Will Howard, maybe even Quinn Ewers, I just think they're just kind of average guys. There's nothing that they do that I could focus on and say, you've got an elite trait that we could at least, let's start with that, right? You could talk me into Jalen Milroe out of Alabama because he can move and he can get outside the pocket. That is an elite trait. Tyler Shuck, height and weight and size, that is an elite trait. At least you've got something to jump onto. And it's not that I'm sitting here and whatever sell anybody a bill of goods here telling you that I think Tyler Shuck's going to the Hall of Fame one day. He's the best option of some really not good options. So for anybody to be closed-minded and freak out about this, I don't understand. Beggars cannot be choosers in this whole thing. We have been wandering this desert. And you walk up and you find a glass of water, you're going to sit there and go, it's not carbonated. It's like that scene in Family Guy when Brian and Stewie are walking in the desert and they see a pop machine and they go, oh my God. They run up to it and they go, oh, it's RC Cola. You remember that?
Yeah,
Here's the funny thing. RC Cola is the pop for the Browns.
Is it really? Some things just go well together.
When I would cover the team, it would be RC Cola. They had 7-Up, which I love 7-Up. And they had Dr. Pepper. You can't go wrong with Dr. Pepper. But they have RC Cola over there. And so you're going to walk now after walking through this desert, feast, or, you're famine, not feast and famine. You're famine. You thirst. And you're going to sit there and you're going to be critical of what falls in front of you. I understand that not taking one of these guys at 2 is probably the right call. And I said on last week's show, if you feel like Shedeur Sanders can be it, then just take him. Don't play any of these games. Because I also don't buy this slide. I don't buy this. He's going to be available for the Steelers at 21. I really think Shedeur Sanders, and I got a couple of these I want to run through later. I got draft over-unders for you.
Okay.
As far as where you think these guys are going to be drafted. We'll do that in segment 2 coming up. I don't think Shedeur Sanders falls out of the top 10. I don't. He is viewed as the second quarterback. I know Jackson Dart, some people are on the rise for him. He's not going to be there, talking about Sanders, for you to trade back up into the mid-20s and go get him. I just don't think that's going to happen. So now you are resigned to this group of Howard, and you can talk me into Will Howard maybe one day, and Tyler Shuck and Jalen Milroe, and then a guy named Jackson Dart. So I want to get over to Benjamin Solak this morning. And he went through all of the quarterbacks and in a way did a mock draft and picked their landing spot. Number 1, Cam Ward. I'm still not over it. It's going to bother me forever. He's going 1 to the Titans. He's got Shedeur Sanders going 3 to the New York Giants. Next up, Browns. Pick 33, Jackson Dart. What would your reaction be if the Browns just straight up, let's say they go Travis Hunter, which is going to be the pick, it sounds like. Would you be all right with them taking Jackson Dart at 33 if he's there? We'll get into that conversation in a second if he's even there at 33. Ryan, how would you feel if they walk up there with the 33rd overall pick, the Cleveland Browns select Jackson Dart, Ole Miss?
I would have to become a chain smoker and smoke darts all day because I'd be very upset. If you're going to pass on Shedeur Sanders, okay, you're drafting Travis Hunter, the best player available. At 33, I would rather get a Travion Henderson. I would rather get if there's a tackle that you fall in love with.
There's some good tackles that'll be there.
Like
good D tackles.
If I can't get Shedeur Sanders, then I'm resigning to completely overhauling this offense position-wise and then drafting give me Riley Leonard in the 5th, 6th at that point.
Okay, maybe
7th. I don't know if they have a 5th round pick.
I think they're out of a. Oh no, you're right. They're out of a 5th. They have a 6th. And I'm kind of with you on that. And this is why I want to do this on today's show, because I can't sit here and tell everybody to calm down and beggars can't be choosers. And then I also then sit here and yell about that. I don't like Jackson Dart. That's talking out of both sides of my mouth. I can't do that. So let me talk myself into Jackson Dart for a second. This is Benjamin Solak's write-up on ESPN. And he writes, and he does say, Dart may require a trade up from 33. His write-up. He's a twitchy, creative thrower who likes to push the ball down the field. I'm impressed with his ability to throw on the run, move under pressure. He doesn't need ideal throwing platforms or arm angles to generate velocity or accuracy. Ole Miss's offense allowed Dart to regularly take deep isolation shots, and his growth as a processor has been stunted as a result. He might not be good as moving defenders with his eyes or getting them off of coverages, but the Browns should take any level of creativity, aggressiveness, and arm talent, no matter the processing errors, and maybe get a semblance of a future at quarterback. Solak. Jackson Dart's ceiling as an NFL starter is likely limited. He does not have elite size, arm talent, or movement skills, but he's acceptable in a lot of those different areas. His comp, J.J. McCarthy from just a year ago. I wish I had the camera on Ryan for that look. He just gave a look and he just kind of shook his head. Not a big J.J. McCarthy guy, who, by the way, went 11 overall a year ago.
I'm glad his NFL comp is a guy who's never taken a snap.
Yeah, well, here we go. All of that kind of sums up this last group, or this second group. They're just kind of there. And if you somehow think Jackson Dart could even just be a serviceable level quarterback, I'll come on around. Here's my concern. Just from what I've watched, and I know I brought up the Florida tape where that second half of that Florida game was atrociously bad. When he throws it down the field, and I don't want to get too into it, but just his balls kind of float. And there's completions that he gets on college defensive backs that will not be completions on NFL defensive backs. They're just not going to be. He's got good anticipation. He knows how to get the ball there without quite the zip. Big buzzword here in this town. But he gets it there. I'm worried about how that's going to translate to the NFL. I'm worried about what that's going to look like when he gets on a field that he's going to have to make some tight window throws. When he's good, and I'm not always talking about chucking it 40 yards down the field. You got a defender, you got 17 yards, you got to fit that ball in there. Can he do that? I have questions about it. But again, with this second wave of guys, nobody's perfect. That's why they're probably not going to be first-round picks. The only other thing that I wonder about Jackson Dart, conspiracy theory, if you will.
Oh, gosh, I think this is the one.
Yeah, there you go. This rise for him all of a sudden. Are these other teams playing games? Because the reports starting to come out is that Jackson Dart is a fast riser, and there were people that thought he might go ahead of Shedeur. Wouldn't it make sense if some team in the bottom of the first round started leaking all this stuff? Welcome to the silly season with the NFL. Talking about Jackson Dart to get him to go up so then another player falls. They're talking up Jalen Milroe. The Chiefs, the Eagles, the Lions, these guys, they all have their quarterback. They're going to talk all three of these guys up and let it leak out and let it get out there. And you know this stuff finds its way to other teams. It's for some team to sucker up and go up and trade them. So a guy like Kenneth Grant or any of these other prospects in the 20s, they fall back and they just fall right in the lap of one of these teams that already got a starting quarterback. I'm worried about that. That's the game that's going to be played right now. And I hope Andrew Berry's smart enough to see through some of that. And I just understand this. Whoever he takes, I'll get on board with. Because I need a quarterback. The Browns are going to take one at some point. You have no choice but to trust Andrew Berry on he's going to make the best move for the team. Kirk Cousins aside, and we're not going to talk about him on this week's show because it's just, he's not going to be traded before the draft. He's going to hang out, wait to see who gets picked. And I don't think if they take Jackson Dart or Will Howard, that's going to be some threat to Kirk Cousins. I need a quarterback. They're going to take one, and I have to get on board with whoever it is. And I'll tell you this right now. I don't really see it in Jackson Dart. If they take him at 33, I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to tell you that right now. But I'll get on board. And at least you got a quarterback, and at least we could start to move forward with finding our guy. Now, that's 33. What are we going to do at 2? It seems to be all but Travis Hunter. Wide receiver or corner is now the debate that is on. I got something from Matt Miller and Jordan Reed talking about Travis Hunter, potentially the second overall pick to the Browns. We'll talk about all that coming up right here on the Fontana Show, presented by our great friends at Garage Beer and Pure AV. But an important message from our friends at Fairway Ford. You head over to fairwayfordohio.com. First off, it is truck month, as you can see. Employee pricing for everyone. We don't talk politics. The tariffs are on. You can get into the pre-tariff pricing right now on Fords. They have over 500 in stock. F-Series, up to, in some cases, $15,000 off. You see it up there, $8,000 for some of the Super Duties. You can see it right there on their website. Some of those trucks you can get in on this employee pricing and save yourself a lot of money. These are great vehicles. Even the pre-owned lot is well stocked. And again, I know this is an important time right now about you need that vehicle, and if you wait any longer, you could be paying a little bit more. Just know when you go with Fairway Ford, you're not going to get a better deal. Like, I would stand by that. I know they stand by that. They're going to get you the best deal possible. And even if you find a better deal somewhere else, tell them that. and see what they can do for you. Because at Fairway Ford, they're not afraid to make deals. They're willing to do it. And especially for our fans out there, when you get to Fairway Ford, if you tell them we sent you, they're going to hook you up. They're going to take care of you. They're not going to be beat on pricing, and they will deliver anywhere. It's a short drive for us in Cleveland out to Canfield. Some people watching or listening, you might even be closer to that. You could even do this all online if you really wanted to. I know people like to do test drives and stuff. Go to their website, fairwayfordohio.com. Peruse again, over 500 in-stock vehicles. Find the one you're looking for and do a lot of that stuff online. They'll deliver it to you. They will deliver it to you. You want to drive out this weekend or you want to head out, pick that car up, or, again, pick your car, drive on home, that car be in your driveway next week. That's as simple as they can do it for you at Fairway Ford. Over 20 years, family-owned and operated with a veteran sales staff and excellent service department. But again, right now, employee pricing, truck month is on. Deals are being had right now at Fairway Ford. Just check out their website out, fairwayfordohio.com. That is fairwayfordohio.com. Better fire up those Travis Hunter jerseys. Would you buy one for Travis Hunter?
Hell yeah.
I like that jersey. I like the mock-ups in Browns uniform, but we'll talk about that coming up next. Seems Travis Hunter's coming to the Cleveland Browns. Welcome back, Fontana Show, right here on Big Play, part of the Rock Entertainment Sports Network, presented by our great friends at Garage Beer, Fairway Ford, and our amazing partners at Pure AV. You know the golf tournament going on this weekend. And a lot of that is streaming only, right? Do you have a smart TV? Do you have the option to be able to get it up on your TV? Pure AV can do all of it for you. Indoor, outdoor, the OLED, the 4K, the 8K, the Atmos, surround sound. They can do it all for you, folks. And it's whatever budget you're willing to work with, too, at Pure AV. One of the things that I really love about Pure AV, we have a TV in our basement. We have it up in our living room. And then, I like to watch stuff on my iPad. Sync all of that up. Sync it all up where you can control your whole house from your phone. Have the app. Some of that can get really tricky. Go with a company like Pure AV because they know how to handle it all. And the thing is, when you sit down with them, explain what you want. What is your priority? Do you want the whole home automation? Do you want more of the experience? Do you want the 8K? Do you want the surround sound? Do you have that man cave down in the basement that needs that little push? They can do it all for you at Pure AV. The smart home is where it's at. The lightings, the shades, the locks. I think about that more and more. When I'm trying to get out of the house with the kids and I got to fumble with my keys, I'd like to be able just to push a button. How about I get in the car and I forget, did I lock the front door? Pure AV, boom, boom on my phone. Hey, I locked the door. Don't got to worry about it. Go see them, pureavcorp.com. That is pureavcorp.com. Just check them out for any project you got coming up. And what a good Father's Day gift. We'll be there before you know it. What a good Father's Day gift that might be, or Mother's Day gift. Either one coming up with Pure AV. We appreciate them joining us right here on Big Play. So it sounds like Travis Hunter, by default now, is going to be the pick for the Cleveland Browns. And there are a lot of people out. I listened to Dane Brugel, their friend Warren Sharp. He was on with them for an hour. It's a great podcast. And they talked a lot about Travis Hunter. And Dane is over the moon saying this guy is the best prospect in this class. He is one of the best athletes that you might ever find. The question is on about wide receiver versus corner. And originally, it sounded like the Browns had him as a wide receiver, which personally got me more interested, right? I got Denzel Ward. I've got Greg Newsome. I've got MJ Emerson. Why would you need another corner? Wide receiver, I need points up on the board. I've got questions at quarterback. That could really help things out. The thing is, what's starting maybe for me to realize, he's going to be better off at corner. He might be better off playing corner. Now, this is a conversation that I don't want to say drives me kind of insane, but he can do both positions. He can't. Not full time. And we all know that. The easier thing to do is to have him be a full-time corner who plays a little bit of offense. So we're back again to talking about him being a corner number one. And it's like, you can't do it because it's one of the things that makes him special. Ryan, I wish we could just stop that conversation and take that out to be like, just view him as one or the other. Like, I really want to approach it that way. He's either a corner or a wide receiver. But I'll tell you this, man, then I'm doing him a disservice because that is one of the things that makes him so special. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're almost muddying the waters on this, trying to figure out what Travis Hunter is. And I'm just throwing my hands up and saying, screw it, he's just this or just that. And I can't do that because it's one of the things that makes him most special and why I really think he's going to be the pick for the Browns at number 2.
It sure seems that way, doesn't it, Matt? I still want it to be Shedeur, but if it's not going to be a quarterback at number 2, then I'm very open to Travis Hunter. I think everybody agrees that the best player in this draft, obviously quarterback's probably the most important, not probably it is, but Travis Hunter, the ability to play both ways is what has made him special throughout his whole career. But yeah, you're not playing full-time in the NFL as both the wide receiver and a defensive back. I'd like him to be a full-time wide receiver. I understand the appeal of playing defensive back, especially if you can be a lockdown. Imagine having 2 Denzel Wards on each side. That'd be insane.
Can I give you one more, too?
Yeah.
You know he wants to play wide receiver.
Money. Exactly. If he wants to make the most money he possibly can, no.
There's John Ralphio. They're kind of like this annoying brother-sister that hangs out with Tom Haverford. And they have a rich dad who's played by Henry Winkler. And the sister, Jenny Slate, plays the sister. And she's just she's like this annoying Jersey Shore type. She just always goes up to her dad and she goes, money, please, Dan, money, please. And just asks for a bunch of money. But... Sorry, not to derail, but it's like, you know, if you're Travis Hunter watching these wide receiver deals get thrown around, you'd probably rather do that than play corner.
Yeah, and I mean, you can stomach a wide receiver at number 2 a lot more people probably can than stomaching a DB at number 2. I would think so. I mean, I understand you took Denzel Ward at, 4? And that worked out. A lot of people wouldn't take that pick back. But, I mean, when you look at the Browns' offense last year, I can't sit here and go into next year without an upgrade. If it's not going to be a quarterback, you got to give me a full-time wide receiver. Jerry Jeudy, great receiver. The deal looks good, but let's be real. He'd be a number 2 receiver on a lot of teams.
I got to cut you here, though. What's future Denzel Ward?
Well, yeah. No, you're right.
You know, that's the thing. If you really do see this as part of your defense is really predicated, and it has been, on 2 guys, Myles Garrett and Denzel Ward. Myles Garrett's going to be here. I don't really have questions about his health. Denzel Ward, you might have to draft that replacement and still keep MJ Emerson and whatever they do with Greg Newsome when he goes to Dallas for Dak Prescott or whatever it is. You might have to view it that way. Maybe that's how the Browns are looking at Travis Hunter.
But I'm sick and tired of not having a featured wide receiver 1.
I am 100% agree.
I don't want to keep going down the well of free agency, giving somebody that's probably past the twilight of their career, like we did Amari Cooper, like you tried with Odell Beckham, right? Like guys like Jarvis Landry. I want somebody that we draft, we grow, and we pay.
Yeah, but it's also like I don't want to say you're better off, but like there's more of an opportunity to find those receivers. You know what I mean? Like I wanted Jamar Chase, I wanted Jeff Jefferson, but how much of that comes back to quarterback play too?
I get it, Matt, but I go back to just last year and I watch what the Jaguars, but especially the Giants. Like, they're bad. Yes, they're bad. Yeah. Their offense wasn't great, but Malik Neighbors is a specimen. And if Travis Hunter can be our version of a Malik Neighbors, I know different skill sets. I get that, but just that drafting a clear-cut wide receiver 1 that when you step on the field is the best player on there.
Here's another offshoot of this whole Deshaun Watson thing.
It's been since Josh Gordon.
Yeah.
The Browns have had a receiver where you stepped on the field and 90% of the time you knew he was the best player, the best receiver on the field. It's been since Josh Gordon.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. And we've had good years like with Jarvis Landry, and you had good years with Amari Cooper. The thing is, the offshoot of the Watson stuff was giving up all those picks in 3 drafts that were loaded with studs. Where did the Jacksonville Jaguars draft Brian Thomas? 2nd round. And again, is he Jamar Chase? No, but he's damn good. You passed up on 3 drafts that were literally loaded with studs. We get our 1st-round pick back, and that happened. There's a cycle in the NFL, and we all see it. When you get 3-4 drafts in a row that are just loaded, you are just, now it's time to pay the piper. And it seems like this draft is the pay the piper draft where it's not all that good. Go back to that, 2013 draft or whatever with Barkevius Mingo. Like, that happens. When you have so many good drafts in a row, you are just signing yourself up to have the fallback one, and unfortunately, we're prime in position for a fallback one. Bad opportunity. If we had imagine if we had all these picks just last year. You'd have Jane Daniels and Brian Thomas on this team. It's just going to upset me. Quick thing here on Travis Hunter. This is from Jordan Reed, Matt Miller, ESPN. What are they hearing about the Browns draft? They have a huge hole at quarterback, but it seems likely that to go with the best player available, which is either Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter. Browns will select one at some point from Jordan Reed. Since they own the top pick in the second round, don't be surprised they use that on other picks to trade back in the first round for their signal caller. Do you think Abdul Carter's just... Are they playing game? Like, there's no point in playing games. We know Cam Ward's going 1. You basically have the first pick of the draft without him. There's no point in playing these games with Abdul Carter or not. I just feel like that ship has sailed.
I hope so.
A long way. Yeah, neither one of us are really all in on Abdul Carter, but I'm fine with Travis Hunter. And that's, again, I say fine as you're getting the top prospect by a lot of people. You're getting a guy that's athletic as hell, and you put him either at corner, you put him at receiver sometimes. You got a good player. But it is still all going to come back to the quarterback, which is kind of the unfortunate thing for the Cleveland Browns, so we'll get to that. You want a little draft over-unders quickly here?
Sure.
So this is from Bet Online. And basically what this is, you cannot bet on this in the state of Ohio, by the way. They got some freaky rules with sports betting on what you can and can't do. All right, rapid fire, I have 5 for you. Okay, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Shedeur Sanders, 9, over-under.
Under.
I agree. Ashton Genty, 8. That's high, isn't it?
I wonder if the Raiders will pull a trigger.
I think over.
I'll go over.
I'm going to say over on that one. Mason Graham, 5.5. So if you go, let's talk it through.
I think the Jaguars.
Cam Ward goes 1, Travis Hunter goes 2. Let's say Shedeur goes 3. You got 2 picks there for Mason Graham.
And one's Abdul Carter.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Abdul Carter's still there. Yeah, you're right. I think I think they're trying to hook us on that. I'm with you. I think the under. Tyler Warren, tight end, Penn State, 9.5.
Over.
I think so, too. Final one, Jackson Dart, 23.5.
Ew, over.
Think so?
Maybe that's at
21. Yeah, they're at 21. I'm going to say over on that. I'm with you. Sanders under, Dart. I'm taking it back. I want the under. Give me the under on Jackson Dart, 23.5. I'll go over on Genty, over on Mason Graham, and over on Tyler Warren. Well, the Cavs already over on their win total, number 1 seed clinched. We'll talk some wine and gold. We'll do it next. Fontana Show, presented by Garage Beer, Pure AV, Fairway Ford, part of Big Play, Rock Entertainment Sports Network. We'll talk some Cavs next. Number 1 seed clinched. There's one word for the Cleveland Cavaliers right now. R-E-S-T. Rest. Welcome back. Fontana Show right here on Big Play. Of course, as part of the Rock Entertainment Sports Network on Fridays, 4 o'clock. Follow us on Twitter at Matt Fontana Show. Well done by the Wine and Gold. I've been telling everybody that'll listen, we're still a good basketball team. Everything's going to be fine. It's clinched. Ryan, ain't nobody going to play the rest of these games on out. You only got a couple to go, and then we'll get into the playoffs. Are you at all concerned about sitting the mass exodus that you will? So like Thursday night, we record our show Thursday morning. Mitchell out, Strus out, Mobley out. I think Darius Garland's even out for that game on Thursday night. They're just going to sit everybody. Adam Silver's going to have a heart attack on this player participation policy thing. But are you at all worried about the rust that might accumulate or the time off? I'm not.
No.
I think you got to remember that in the opening round of the NBA playoffs, which I'm just going to go, you still got the play-in tournament to go. If it started today, you know who you got? The Atlanta Hawks. Are you worried about the Atlanta Hawks beating the Cavs 4 times over 2 weeks?
No.
I am not.
We took their best player.
I'm not. Well, that's a shot at Trae Young, but that's all right.
I forgot about that guy.
Yeah, whether he's good or not.
We took their second best player.
Probably did. At this point, you use the first round to get back into the swing of things. That's the one thing that you got to remember, that even in the LeBron years, where as long as the regular season was as much of a drag as you really thought it was, they used those opening rounds to get back into the flow of things. But then they also had a little bit of a sense of, we got to get off the court too. Let's sweep these guys. Let's win in 5. Let's get on out so we can get back to being restful. That is something that I know Kenny Atkinson, going through this, is the first-time coach of the Cavs, but he's been a head coach before he's been there. I feel better about the veteran, just feel of this team. If they were younger, I'd be a little concerned on how they're going to handle time off or how they're going to handle that first round. I'm just setting all of that to the side. I am really just pushing all of this to the side and feel like once those playoffs start, this team's going to get right back on it. They're going to get right back in the flow of things. You can rest Donovan's ankle. You can get the rest of these guys. The other thing about to remember, too, they've not practiced. Like, they've not had legitimate time to just sit down and practice and work on the little things because of the schedule, because of the grueling schedule this Cavs team had. Danny put this out, I want to say last week or the week before. I think it was last week. And the Cavs had a practice. And Danny said something along the lines, this was the first home practice that the Cavs had since the All-Star break. Because they were either on the road or they were just back, games after game after game. We got to remember that, too. I wonder how much that's going to help, not just the rest, but to get in the lab a little bit and sit down and say, we're going to work on this, or we need to fix this a little bit, or what wrinkle we're going to throw. I love where this team is at, man. And I tried to look this up. What odds could you have gotten to bet for them to be the first overall seed? I don't think they were readily available. I don't remember seeing any of those. But to have the record that they have had, dude, they're 34-6 at home. 34-6 at home. And you're going to have home court advantage throughout the Eastern Conference playoffs. Well done, Cavs. Resting on up. And for the rest of us, let's take a little rest as well and get ready to go for the playoffs. Well done for the Cavs. Just starting out for the guards. They picked up 2 on the White Sox. They're an issue with Emmanuel Clase. We'll talk about it next. Stay with us.
The Big Play Sports Network is brought to you by Infinity. Luxury experiences for those who dare to be different.
I love baseball being back. I know we were freezing out on Tuesday for opening day, but baseball back. Guardians got a couple against the White Sox. That's all we ask for. Are you worried about Emmanuel Clase? Fontana Show right here on Big Play, Rock Entertainment Sports Network, Pure AV, our friends at Garage Beer, and Fairway Ford bringing you the show. I also have to thank everybody at the Colleague Championships and the Colleague companies for having us out, all of our shows at Big Play. We were at Thirsty Parrot. Dude, so many people that I saw. People I went to high school with. I haven't seen in forever. Everybody was out. But I can't thank them enough. We're going to tell you a lot about this coming up. June 18th through the 22nd. Firestone South, Colleague Championships, Senior Tour. I know the golf tournament that's going on this weekend, but folks, the Senior Tour, so much more access. The players understand it. Tickets are so reasonable, and they're on sale, by the way. They're out this week on sale for the Colleague Championships down there at Firestone. I'm going to be there. I already told my dad. I said, we're taking our son, or we're going to, my son, his grandson. Well, I guess his son is going because it's my dad. But, like, I can't tell you how excited I am for that. For my dad and my son and me to go to a golf tournament. Like, I've been waiting my whole life for that. And I'm going to try not to get emotional about it. Like, I am so excited for that. We're going to be there. You can do the same. Parking is so easy. They got the shuttles, and you get to walk around a golf tournament. Check them out. Colleague Championships. They're on Twitter, Colleague Champ, but you can just Google it. Get all the tickets available right now. So we'll see you there, and we got to thank them again so much for having us out on Tuesday. Are you worried about Emmanuel Clase?
Yeah.
What concerns you more? Jose botching some balls?
I don't care about Jose not playing defense. Like,
I do.
Miss me with that. I understand. There'll come a point in time where that will bite you in the butt.
Almost did yesterday.
Don't get me wrong. Yeah, well, you know what? If the White Sox stretched it properly, they would have won that game probably. So no, I'm not worried about Jose's defense. I'm worried about Clase, yes.
Gotta stretch those hammies.
Like, come on.
Did you see that guy running?
Yeah.
Even when he made the turn, I go, he doesn't look right.
A broken ankle and a torn hamstring.
That ankle was bad. That was rough. Ooh. And then Santana he's like, sorry, man. I gotta tag out. I feel bad for White Sox fans. I really do. But Clase, why isn't he going inside on guys? It seems like everything is away. He's missing everything away right now.
He hit Jonathan India in the face.
Maybe, dude, I didn't think about that. Good call.
Yeah, dude.
Good call.
Like,
they got to fix that. Jose's got to go get a new glove. Can we, I don't think he needs us to do a GoFundMe to find him a new glove. And I'm not even joking. It's mental. It always is. You got to get him a new glove. It's a new season. Maybe he didn't break it in probably. Some ain't right. And I know you're not as concerned as I am. Bro, it's 5 errors in 9 games. We can't be having that. We just can't. I know Jose knows that. He's our best player. We're not going anywhere without him. I love him to death. We need to get that figured out. On the whole of this team, though, all right, you got 2 scrappy, crappy wins against the White Sox. So be it. That's fine. Now Lane Thomas injured. I want to see some more ABs from Nolan Jones. He's working some counts.
I don't think
he's
Lane
working
Thomas
some counts.
Getting hurt is the worst thing in the world, because I would imagine you're just going to more than likely just put Nolan in center field and Jonk in right. So I don't mind them both being able to get consistent at bats.
I'm with you. And then when you talk about, dude, Carlos Santana, that is what you signed him for. And I know I already got tweets like, I'd still rather have Naylor. I don't know, man. Like, I'm just... Again, it's so early. We talked a lot about this on Tuesday, but I'm still in a great place with the Guardians. You get Class A right, and I feel like if this lineup can continue to just work counts, get guys on base, you're going to be all right. But a good start. Tuesday was a great day. I know it was cold. You picked it up on Wednesday. I don't know. Again, we record Thursday morning. I don't know if they're going to play or not. But again, it's just so fun to have baseball back. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy watching every day. Get after it, Guards, and we'll get moving. All right. Immaculate Grid time. We screwed around a little baseball, but we're back to football. We'll do it coming up. Stay with us. Fontana Show right here on Big Play and The Rock. All right, Ryan, here we go. Immaculate Grid. You know how it works. You're on the Fontana Show. Let's get to it. Hey!
I see a brown helmet. I see an orange and brown helmet.
All right. We should be able to get this. You know how it works. You got to fill in the statistical category. Player for each. Go!
All right, 50 sacks for
Cam
the
Jordan.
Saints.
Not Jordan Cameron.
Yeah.
Cam Jordan.
He's got to have 50.
Do you know that somebody called them and thought that they were the opposite guy? No.
Well, that was a joke in the league, if you ever watched that show.
That's right.
I guess it's Cameron Jordan, huh?
Cameron Jordan.
He's got to have 50, right?
Oh, 1,000%. All right. I would say J.J. Watt probably eclipsed that.
I would assume so.
And one Miles Lorenz Garrett. All right, you just want to knock out rounds?
49ers Saints. Is that not Ted Ginn?
Yes, it is.
Right?
Yes. Yes. Friend of ours here at Big Play. Ted Ginn works for a lot of these, more than we really should think. What's screaming to me there? All right, we'll move off it.
Carlos Hyde, but he also works.
That's exactly it.
But he also, we can figure out something.
Oh no, I have another one for the San Francisco. Don't worry. Cool. Is that not Alex Mack?
I know he played for the Falcons.
I think he played in San Francisco. Deshaun Gibson is our easy pick right there.
Yeah.
Deshaun Gibson works there. And it'll help with the rarity score. GIP. G-I-P. There he is. Undrafted guys carved out a great career for himself, by the way. All right, you can just rip Odell Beckham at the bottom there. Or you want to do Olivier Vernon?
Yeah, why not?
Might as well. All right.
Okay.
All right. Colt McCoy, no. Tyrod Taylor. Is it not? Yeah, right there. Is that not it?
For Giants Texans?
Yeah, isn't that not it?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. We get ahead of ourselves sometimes, but here we are. Saints, Giants. It's not Arch Manning, like Archie Manning. Okay, obviously it's not like Derek Carr, not Drew Lock.
Eli Apple didn't play for the Saints, did he? Tyrann Mathieu didn't play for the Giants.
He didn't play for the Giants. I like your Eli Apple, but the problem is they have so many Ohio State defensive backs that have played for the Saints, I can't keep them straight. Like Marshawn Lattimore was there. Von Bell was, and then I know Eli Apple played in Cincinnati. If we can't think of anything else, give me like 2 minutes here. We'll figure it out. But if we can't think of another one, I don't hate your Eli Apple rip there.
Got to be a quarterback.
It's not Jimmy Graham.
Andy Dalton never played for the Giants.
No, it's not. Obviously not Derek Carr. It's not like Josh McCown. The problem is they had Eli and Drew Brees for so long. Like they didn't get a lot of other quarterbacks in there. What about wide receivers? Marquez Valdez-Scantling, I don't think ever played in New York.
Brandon Cooks never played in New York.
I don't think he ever played in New York. Kenny Golladay never went to New Orleans. Foster Moreau, the tight end, I don't think he ever played in New York. That's a cut. That's a deep cut for you. Matt Breida never played in New Orleans. Like Ahmad Bradshaw, no. Brandon Jacobs, I know he played in New York. I don't think he played for the Saints.
Any kickers?
Sly.
Fat Randy.
And the Fat Randy does not work here, unfortunately. We have not used Fat Randy in quite a little while. Garrett Hartley. There's a cut. I don't think so. What about all those Drew Brees, like Marquise Colston? We might just have to rip Eli Apple, I think.
I really don't.
You don't think he was in New Orleans?
Mm-mm.
You don't think he was in New Orleans?
I don't.
I can't even think of like any. Jason Pierre-Paul never played for the Saints.
Adrian Peterson never played for the Giants, did he?
No. Darren Sproles, I don't think ever played in New York. Right? I want to picture him in the jersey, but I don't think that's right. I don't really even have a vibe of somebody else screaming at me, you know?
Josh Johnson?
He's our go-to. I'd feel better with Eli Apple, to be honest with you.
Should we just rip it?
Yeah, rip it. I just keep coming back to it.
Oh, man.
Here we go. Yeah, nice. Don't doubt yourself, Ryan. Let's go.
Wow.
Nice.
Jeremy
Shockey. Nice.
Wow.
David Carr would not have gotten that one.
All right. Jeff Garcia.
Nice.
That'll play.
Oh, yeah, Jeff Garcia. That'll play. That'll do it. All right, a return for Luka this week. Was that as painful to watch for Nico Harrison as it was for everybody else? We'll discuss and wrap things up. Stay with us. Luka back to Dallas. Oh, dude, him crying during, and then he just drops 45 on him. Like, that's what it is. The Fire Nico chance. Welcome back. Fontana Show right here on Big Play, Rock Entertainment Sports Network. It was emotional for all of us to watch, but it also reminds you, what in the hell was Nico Harrison thinking for the Dallas Mavericks? Like, when, you know, in trades in the NFL, when you see so many guys that get moved and they don't want, like, it's almost like, that guy didn't want to be here anymore. How painful was that to watch? And it's, how does he survive? I think at that point, he could be a genius. This move could pan out. The Dallas Mavericks have no choice but to fire him for this colossal mistake. Sometimes, even when you make the right decision, you still need to be held accountable for that. Like, this seems to be just such a horrid mistake, let alone if the LA Lakers somehow make a run in the Western Conference and they somehow maybe even get to the finals, which I'm not writing that off, and it's all because of Luka. I don't know how you watch what happened on Wednesday night with Luka's return and think for a second that this was a good idea. I do not understand how that was. And it's just salt in that open wound there for the Dallas Mavericks. But it was interesting to watch as it goes on. All right, appreciate everybody joining us right here. Again, always on Friday, 4 to 5 on The Rock. Check us out on Big Play Instagram. Download that Big Play app presented by Pure AV, Garage Beer, and Fairway Ford. We appreciate them. We appreciate you. We'll talk to you next week. For Ryan Tyler, I am Matt Fontana. And as always, take it easy.